You are now entering the Rawrrzone.
USO 82.3 FM, we're the independent artists. Now streaming on all smart TVs. Decide the Live 365 channel and search PUSO. PUSO 82.3 FM, where the independent artists are the stars.
You're now listening to the Evening Rush Network.
You keep throwing, you keep throwing blame. It's a remix. You keep throwing blame. Bet that bell won't swing my way. Telling me what I do wrong. A list of complaints I see, but you gon' eat those words you say. Turn me off, then turn me away. Blindsided, your mind munching. Your true colors came in waves. Thought I found you what I was missing. See, you get so defensive. No, you never listen. Your mind's in the distance. Triggers got me reminiscing. You steady with the mind game, but ain't gon' put that on me. I see you steady with the mind games, but ain't gon' put that on me. I've been trying to take the ride, take time, but you got pain that you should see. And I see you steady with the mind games, but you ain't gon' put that on me.
That dumb shit
On me.
Love, let's even the score, you must have lost one. Pitching that you playing for two, I'm really on one. Let's keep it short for the long run. Don't get me started before it's all done. It's up when that call come. Come to me as a woman, I'ma break your shit. If you claim me, that you claim me, better say that shit. Nigga, look, with all I took, you better take that shit. I'm dead ass and that's the crazy shit. Know that I was never for the mini man. Can't feel how you carry on, cause I got hands in plenty, man. Build them up and break them down, you break through, then I'm breaking. I told you I wouldn't play around. You gotta stay up just to stay around. Where you had me is where you lost me. You come shopping this way, then it get costly. I'm on now that you off me. I had to shake that nigga off me. Hey, yo, B, you know me, I'm tired of talking.
You steady with the mind game, but ain't gon' put that on me. I see you steady with the mind games, but ain't gon' put that on me. I've been trying to take the ride, take time, but you got pain that you should see. And I see you steady with the mind games, but you ain't gon' put that on me. On me.
Yeah. I see you steady with the mind games. Got me looking at you sideways, like don't know what's wrong or what's the right way. I'll just give you the right away, like always. Cause you know that you're my baby, and lately you've been acting a little shady. So I'd rather stay out of your way. Cause when you do me wrong, I play the fool, but somehow you prove me right. You do this every time. Oh, don't you ever get tired, cause I'm tired. Like boy bye. So don't try it. No, I ain't buying your mind games.
You steady with the mind game, but ain't gon' put that on me. I see you steady with the mind games, but ain't gon' put that on me. I've been trying to take the ride.
here with it. Bring it, come. Why you so shy, baby? You already won. Wanna put you in my favorite position. Baby, take time with it. It's a marathon. I know. You never have a man when so. No matter how close I go, I'm feeling like I can't let go. Grips on you tightly. I can feel your temperature. Baby, why you tempting me so? I love it when you press my up. I love it when I can feel your temperature. Baby, why you tempting me so? Feeling like you want give me some when I pull up, don't ride. My body's on you, your body's on me. So close I can feel you breathe. Now let me give you love and let's be. My body's on you, your body's on me. So close I can feel you breathe. Now let me give you love and let's be. You say I love the way you do me. Girl, my body on your body like a two-piece, yeah. We can make a little movie. And how you give it to me just like that. I know. Girl, you turn me on. The way you blow my mind so I'm tempted to touch. Grips on you tightly. I can feel your temperature. Baby, why you tempting me so? I love it when you press my up. I love it when I can feel your temperature. Baby, why you tempting me so? You know how to survive with me. Put your phone on D&D. When my body's on you, your body's on me. So close I can feel you breathe. Now let me give you love and let's be. You know that it's a vibe with me. When my body's on you, your body's on me. So close I can feel you breathe. Now let me give you love and let's be.
Shop by an icon.
USO 82.3 FM, we're the independent artisan. Now streaming on all smart TVs. Just add the Live 365 channel and search PUSO. PUSO 82.3 FM, where the independent artists are the stars.
You're now listening to the Evening Rush Network.
We here. What's up, world? It's your homegirl, Ivy, Katie, whatever you want to call me. Just talk to me nice because it is my day off and we are in the Rawrrzone and the sun is still out. So I consider that a win right now. Whew. You can catch us everywhere on our website, www.rawrzonenyc.com. Subscribe to our YouTube at rawrzonenyc. You could catch us at our wonderful radio homes, Puso 82.3 FM, every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the Evening Rush Radio Network every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, you can stream us on Spotify, what, iHeart, what, Amazon Music, what, Apple Podcasts, what, and wherever you get your podcast fix. Are you looking to promote your brand, business, or music? Partner with Welcome to the Rawrrzone and reach listeners in over 150 countries with 20,000 listeners across all of our platforms. And artists, if you want to be featured in our Rawrrzone picks or added into our rotation and on the Evening Rush Network Radio, email us to submit at mnrbookings@gmail.com. We are powered by Official Cap House. Please make sure you get involved with them. They are our hub for anime, entertainment news, networking, and more. Lock in with them and tell them the Rawrrzone sent you. Hold on. We are now proudly powered by the PNSBC. Where's my logo? Apologies, guys. Courtesy of our friend and longtime guest of the show, Mr. Coney Brooks. The PNSBC brings together top high school players from across New York City. The league emphasizes education, competition, community service, and personal growth, preparing players to succeed both on and off the court. Opening day is March 7th, and all the games can be streamed on YouTube. If you want to subscribe and show support to our local community teams, please click that link in our description. Tell Mr. Brooks if you're looking to sponsor them as well, help these kids go for more opportunities. Please tell them the Rawrrzone sent you. Whew. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, like every year, I always thank you guys and the people that were part of our 2025 Give Back for Sean season, whether you donated, shared, partnered, volunteered, or simply showed love and support. Because of you, last year we got to make strides on our I'm very excited about our guest today, so I want to really get through this. But because of you guys, we raised $5,200 and we're working towards a $10,000 goal by the end of this year for the Sarcoma Foundation of America. Every dollar is raised on behalf of not only Sean Seguid, but Kelly Brown and their fights against sarcoma. Sean was diagnosed with an extremely rare and aggressive cancer called intimal sarcoma of the pulmonary artery and lungs. A cancer so rare that fewer than 130 cases have been reported worldwide. It's a cancer that hides within blood clots, often detected by scans, and is tragically discovered too late. In Sean's case, it was found during emergency open heart and lung surgery that ultimately saved his life, long enough for him to fight, advocate, and educate an entire community about cancer most people never heard of. Sarcoma is what's considered a forgotten cancer. It makes up less than 1% of adult cancers, yet impacts both adults and children. Symptoms are often mistaken for everyday aches and injuries, which delays diagnosis of treatment. This is why our mission matters. This is why awareness matters. Through our Give Back, we proudly raise funds for the SFA, supporting research, treatment, and resources for patients. And along our journey, we got to meet a sarcoma warrior named Kelly Brown, who had joined us on our show, and we met her on the road to the sarcoma race in Philadelphia. Her bright spirit and disposition is what motivated us even more, especially over the last 2 years. Her strength, joy, and spirit continue to inspire what we do. So in 2026, we're still looking for our partners, sponsors, and donors for our fundraising year. If you want to help us grow our mission, increase awareness, and save lives, while of course promoting your brand, please hit us up at IV Productions, hit us up Rawrrzone NYC, hit us up to Rockview Entertainment, and we will be having the official flyer very soon. Our last announcement before I get to introduce our guest. March 15th, we outside at Singer Hall, the 505,000 Experience concert event. Rockview Entertainment and TitanRap.com are bringing energy to Sunnyside, Queens with a lineup that speaks for itself. Hosted by Child the Model, we got performances by Akil Ali, a famous rapper, and of course, the Titan of Rap himself is going to be performing with DJ Ace of Spades on the stage. Wow. Get your tickets at TitanofRap.com. Meet us at 4820 Skillman Avenue, Sunnyside, New York, 11104. Whether it's 5 people or 5,000, the experience always stays the same. Real music and real vibes and real energy. Whew. Wow. All right. Let me take this off. So I hope, because I don't see his camera on, but I still see he's in the building, so I'm very excited right now. I am very... My phone wants to ring with the Weekend ringtone. Happy birthday to the Weekend, by the way. But tonight on Welcome to the Rawrrzone, we're honored to sit down with someone who's been a true architect of sound culture and community. I have been literally very tenacious over the last 5 years since my last interview with him to try to get another interview with him, because everything he seems to do has always been inspiring and make people want to level up. Hailing from Bronx, New York, Dr. Antwan Amadeus Thompson Sr, Ph.D, known globally as Amadeus PBM, is a multi-platinum music producer, elite drummer, music director, author, and educator whose journey represents what happens when talent meets discipline and purpose. from playing drums in church at just 10 years old to becoming a longtime music director and tour drummer for Trey Songz, and collaborating with powerhouse artists like Chris Brown, Rick Ross, and Jennifer Lopez. Amadeus has helped shape a soundtrack of a generation, but his story is bigger than plaques and stages. As an inductee of the Bronx Walk of Fame, a published author of The Story of Amadeus and The Beat Goes On, and a mentor dedicated to uplifting the next wave of creatives, he embodies evolution, not just in music, but in leadership and legacy. Tonight, we're really honing into that. We are talking about community, our cultural responsibility, music, self-reflection, and moments that move the world. So without further ado, because I'm talking way too much, let's give it up for Amadeus, everyone.
Hey, thank you for that amazing intro.
You understand how much I've actually missed seeing you around here?
Man, I'm honored to be back. I didn't realize it was 5 years, man. Time goes by really quickly, I see.
The pandemic.
Yeah, wow. And look how far we've come, since then, man. That was a very challenging time for us all. So to be here today, I'm grateful.
You weren't even Dr. Amadeus yet.
Right. Yeah, a lot has happened since then.
And now that in a way, it feels like, we were in such turmoil then, but we're still in a position where things have changed, but not really.
Right.
So I guess first and foremost, going based off that, how are you doing? Because this show has been more about self-reflection than it has been about anything else. So how have you been doing in the last, since the 5 years have passed?
Yeah, I'm doing amazing. And, sometimes, we've learned that usually people don't answer that question honestly and transparently. So since our conversation, that happened during the pandemic, I've done a lot of work within myself, for myself, because, at the end of the day, I can't be good for anyone else if I'm not good for myself. So I just definitely remaining prayerful, working diligently, and in the time from now until we've seen each other, I've had therapy, which has been a true blessing to me. So I feel like I'm a whole new person, since the last time I've seen you. So if you haven't seen me in a few years, this is for those that are tuned in, if you haven't seen me and spoken to me in the last few years, allow me to reintroduce myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm definitely not the same person that I was before. And even as challenging as the pandemic was, I'm grateful for it. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about myself, taught me a lot about others. It taught me a lot about the world. And life can be about perception, in regards to how you perceive things and how you see things. And oftentimes so much we take things and others for granted, being that, you don't see nothing happening. You don't envision something going wrong or something going left. But like I said, that pandemic taught me a lot. I'm appreciative of everything. I see things differently. I view things differently. And even if, something's going on, something is challenging, something is not so good, somehow I look for the positives in all of those things and try to focus on that. And I was just sharing with someone earlier, we only can control what we can control. You know what I mean? And sometimes we allow things that we can't control to consume us and overtake us. And at the end of the day, it's like, if we can't control it, why allow it that power? So just a different state of mind, different space, and grateful, like I said, to be here today and where I am today.
For those that don't know you, I introduced you, right? Mm-hmm. But for everyone else that doesn't know, if you had to sum yourself up in 30 words or less, how would you describe yourself? I know I hate the cliche question, but I know that's gonna.
No, that's all good. Father, king, musician, music director, music producer, author, man of God, a person that's chose faith over fear, a Bronx native, and someone that literally took something from nothing. You know what I'm saying? And nothing. I said that wrong. Took nothing and turned it into something. Which is all of what you see behind me and all of the accolades, which is all cool. But at the end of the day, deep down inside, a God-fearing man that is grateful for my God-given gifts and talents. Became a love and passion, and shared it with the world. I know I probably took longer than I was supposed to, but that's
I
how
mean,
I can sum it up.
I didn't want to. I didn't want you. You could always tell from when I spoke to you. Like I always want the conversation to not feel like the normal. Oh my God! Tell us where you from. What's your EBK? You
Right.
Like I want to make sure like you're treated like the person that you are.
Thank you.
And it's celebrating your accomplishments, but at the same time, it's also because I watch a lot of sitcoms, right? Or like back in the day, you would remember they used to say the names and refresh it somehow because you never know who's tuning in. So you always got to remind them of the person, even if they've been on or not.
Absolutely. And I love that. And it's funny because you say that, right? I always introduce myself and people will be like, I know who you are, or like, why did you introduce yourself? Or I'm like, I just come in and and you know me very well. I have a very humble spirit, a humble vibe to me. And just because I am who I am, humbly speaking, that doesn't mean that everyone knows me. Not everybody knows who Amadeus is. Not everybody, believe it or not, knows who Jay-Z is. Not everybody knows who Beyonce is. And those are arguably two of the biggest artists in the world. Not everybody knows Trey Songz and Chris Brown, believe it or not, right? Because it could just not be their world or their realm. So I always take it upon myself to share who I am, to introduce myself, because you just never know. So I love that.
So is that this year's Super Bowl jacket?
This is last year's, and I was like, I always do things with intention, and I'm like, I know I'm at the crib, but like I want to put something fly on for the show. You know what I mean? I know Super Bowl just passed. I know All Star just passed, and I was like, yo, this jacket is kind of hard. Let me just throw this on. Shout out to Starter, shout out to Carl Bang, shout out to Tex. I didn't get this year jacket yet. I gotta send in a phone call to make sure I get this year's, Super Bowl jacket and NBA All-Star jacket. But this is from last year. And I don't know if you can see, but is it this side or this side? Hold on. I think it's that side right here.
That's really fire.
Yeah, that's a signature from Cooper DeJean. I'm a New York Giants fan, but last year, the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, and I went to a Yankees game over the summer, and I had this jacket on, and it just so happened that Cooper DeJean, who is a defensive player on the Philadelphia Eagles, he was there at the game as well. We were all on the field for batting practice. And even though I was a Giants fan, I thought it was abomination, but I was like, you know what? I want to celebrate this king. He won a championship. He's an amazing player. And this is the actual, championship he won. So I was like, hey, bro, go ahead and sign my jacket. And he laughed. I said, I'm a New York Giant, but go ahead and sign my jacket, man, just to show love. And he was super cool about it. Saquon Barkley is over there, and a former New York Giant player. I'm absolutely happy for him, excited for him. And I'll say this, right, from a deeper lens. Go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. And I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Go where you're celebrated and not where you're tolerated. What do I mean? Sometimes, not everyone is deserving of your presence. Not everybody is deserving to be in your space. Not everybody understands your value. You know what I mean? And sometimes we allow ourselves in certain spaces, and we allow certain people around us, right, that don't belong. And it's not saying that I'm better than. I just know who I am. I know what God made me to be. I know my power. I know my influence. And at the end of the day, if you don't exude love, if you don't exude genuine love, and hold yourself to a standard, then you can't be in my space. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like, I don't know, we went on for a little tangent, but they didn't appreciate Saquon. They didn't appreciate him. They didn't value him. They wanted to test the market in the trading field. Are you kidding me? Like, Saquon is one of the best running backs of all time that we had on our team. And we, as a Giants fan organization, not me, but leadership, didn't see the value, and we let him go. And he went ahead, joined the Philadelphia Eagles that saw the value, and they won a championship. You know what I'm saying? So,
but they won back-to-back championships, didn't they?
No, I thought it was
last year. I think it was.
I think you're right. Not back-to-back, but multiple. But
they won. And
correct. You're right.
It was Eagles, and then it was the Chiefs and the Niners or something, and then it was the Eagles again.
I think you're right. If I'm not mistaken, I don't quote us. Don't quote us, but
Yeah, don't quote us because it's been a
I think
while.
you're right. I think you're
But
right.
wait, since we talking about Super Bowl, and only because my sister put me onto football, and we're a Giants household.
Okay,
But in her mind, no matter what, even if Tom Brady is no longer on the team, it's forever fuck the Patriots.
Oh, absolutely.
No matter what you do, the Patriots will never get better. That was the mentality through the whole Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Them and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we have a bigger beef with the Dallas Cowboys than we have with the Patriots. We definitely don't rock with the Patriots, but our beef is bigger with the Cowboys. Now, the fact that the problem is we beat the Patriots twice. And every time, it comes up, they have a hard time digesting the fact that as a New York Giants fan, we beat them twice. You know what I'm saying? So that could have been 2 more rings, but we put the stop to that. You know what I mean? So just saying.
Like Undertaker's streak, and it's so bad because I'm sitting at Connect Bar, and shout out to Connect and Pookie and everyone that threw the party over there. But I'm dead sitting here with my friend's cousin, and he's like, "But you don't have to be this salty." I'm like, "Yes, I do," because you guys are so mad over this streak that you're like, their fans are saltier than Mets fans and Yankee fans when it comes to the Subway Series. But then on top of that, the team is playing ass, bro. Congratulations to Seattle, but damn, bro, you won that shit off of field goals.
I mean, listen, as a football fan, it's amazing if you can win in fashion, but a win is a win, right? So I won't even take that away from him. Whether it's a field goal, whether it's an interception, whether you make a touchdown, whatever it is, however you win, even if it's ugly, if you win, you win. So they got in, and obviously they didn't live up to the standards. The Seahawks took it. I'm happy for the Seahawks. Again, shout out to Julian Love, because Julian Love used to play on the New York Giants as well on the defensive end, and been doing really, really, really incredible over there in Seattle. So hopefully the Giants will get their shit together, man. Like, it's just crazy. You know it's you, and you know it's your organization when people leave your organization and they excel. So that happened for Saquon Barkley. Yeah, that happened for Saquon Barkley. That happened for Julian Love. Also, Leonard Williams is over there on the Seahawks too. He also used to play for the New York Giants. So all 3 of them left the Giants and went and got a Super Bowl. So Giants, listen, get y'all shit together. We got a new coach. We got a new staff. Bunch of different players that I feel like are already incredibly talented. So hopefully this will be a better season. And again, sorry that we went on this tangent. Football is my number 1 sport. It's my absolutely favorite sport. So when we start talking about football, it get a little crazy.
It's perfectly fine because it kind of segues into something I did want to talk about with you. But I'm still a little annoyed that we had 2 back-to-back amazing halftime shows with 2 back-to-back ass games.
It happens, man. It happens. Listen, if it was my choice, I would have loved to see because the Seahawks is a great team. I would have loved to see the Seahawks go against like the Broncos or the Bills. Who else was competing? Or like the Rams. Like just so that it was at least some good competition. Like halfway through, I was sitting here watching the game with my son, and I'm like, bro, this is the Super Bowl, man. Like this is not even like I was patiently waiting, excited for like Bad Bunny because I was like, well, hopefully Bad Bunny gives us an incredible show because this ain't it. And absolutely he did.
It was like I stayed at the bar until then, like till after the halftime show, and then I took some of that time to walk home because I work at Winged Academy in the Bronx. So
okay.
I gotta be there by 10 a.m. or my boss is gonna be pissed at me again. So I wasn't doing it. I was already 3 for 3. I had to work Saturday. I came on time. I was gonna do it again Monday.
Got you. Heard you.
I failed by like 10 minutes, but I made it to work. But needless to say, though, like the game was still like at the last place that I took it, and I walked like 15 minutes in the cold.
Wow.
And, like there's no change, and it's like someone posted something about NFL being sports entertainment now, and I'm like, I'm a wrestling fan, but I don't want to see that if that's for football. I don't want to see that for other things.
Right.
I like the entertainment as like the only thing that really entertained me on the last 2 Super Bowls was Kendrick and Bad Bunny.
That's true. That's true.
Um,
That's true. It happens. It happens. Hopefully next year we'll get a more exciting game. We'll see. But listen, at least throughout the season it was a great time, and I had a great time.
oh yeah.
This season was incredible. You know, a lot of injuries, unfortunately. I would have loved to see the Colts in, who had Daniel Jones. There used to be a New York Giants quarterback that's been doing extremely well at the Colts until he got injured. So a lot happened. A lot of players, went down this season. So hopefully they even out players on our team. So I'm looking forward to the next season. So until then, let's enjoy basketball. Baseball is loading, which is another favorite one of my sports. So I'm excited.
So, what is your take on the Bad Bunny show, the halftime show?
Loved it. Obviously, I'm not Spanish. I mean, I could pass for like Dominican, and with the curly hair and the tone and all that. But
Too much time up there, that's why.
you know what I'm saying? But so I don't know exactly what he's saying, but music is vibe, music is energy. You know what I'm saying? Music is a feeling. So based off of the songs, I knew the majority of the songs, at least the melody and how they sounded, or have heard them before. So that was pretty cool. I loved the set. I loved how many people he involved, from dancers to other artists that he included, Ricky Martin and Lady Gaga, and then having the queen that owns I don't know if it's a bar or something in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And he had incorporated her. I just love that, like empowering people, employing people, allowing himself to share the stage with so many other talented people. I thought was dope. And obviously the message after the show, there were people online that broke down what it was, what things stood for, the points that he was trying to make. And I thought it was incredible, man. I thought it was incredible. I thought he made it about the people and about the world, instead of making it about him, because obviously that's his moment. It's a big moment. It's a special moment. Your music streams go up. People, who haven't purchased the albums, purchase the album. It's a big moment that you spend a lot of money for, the artists and the NFL. But then obviously you get that back on the back end with more fans that you develop. So I feel like it was definitely a great turnout for him. Mission accomplished. And I add this in there too. I know Chris Brown, my shout out to my bro Chris, mentioned, the Super Bowl needing him and everything. And listen, we all deserve to be able to express ourselves, say how we feel, whether people will feel is right, whether people will feel is wrong. At the end of the day, it's all opinions. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Breezy. I also would love to see Breezy perform at the Super Bowl game halftime show. I'm sure there's so many people that will want that. And shout out to my brother, who's one of the greatest artists and performers and entertainers of all time. But that was absolutely Bad Bunny's moment. And it was a huge moment in history, a huge moment in the Latin culture, a huge moment of love and togetherness in a world that's so, that has so much division in it. And it was different. It was very different. It was very unique. Again, most times artists make it about them and about them showcasing how dope they are, their abilities, their great songs. But I feel like he found the dope way to incorporate his songs, his music, his culture, a purpose, a plan, a message. And it was so much bigger than music, man. So shout out to Bad Bunny.
Both Bad Bunny and Kendrick had distinct meanings about what's going on in the world around us. And I really feel like, because I was about to, because we usually have these segments where we literally go pinpoint, but Chris Brown had the record-breaking tour.
Yeah.
He beat Bad Bunny by a fraction, literally. Because, and then mind you, he toured all over the world. Bad Bunny just did Puerto Rico,
which was
and
crazy.
Got the same amount.
Yeah.
Almost near same amount. So I kind of feel like his was uncalled for. Like his comment was a little uncalled for, but at the same time, it also sheds light to, are we not seeing the bigger picture within these messages?
Yes, I agree. I think, and again, Chris is a great person. He's my brother. I've had nothing but great experiences with him, working with him, touring with him, performing with him, like an incredible person. You know what I'm saying? And people always try to, instead of shining a light on Chris, always try to speak of negativity when it comes to him. And I'll be the first one to say, man, he's an amazing person, fun to be around, a character, a great personality, hilarious, so much energy, so much dope vibes and spirits. And again, that Instagram world, the social media world, man, it can be a gift and a curse, man. And like some things that you may feel or think might not necessarily be what you should say and share with the
And
masses,
translate.
because sometimes people can take things in a different way. And he knowing him, he's just a competitor. You know what I'm saying? He loves that stage. He shuts the stage down every time he touches it. And from a competitive nature, you're like, man, I just give me that joint one time. And I know that was the vibe, and I know that was the energy and the intent. But timing is everything. Timing is
Oh yeah.
everything. And when you say things and how you say things is very important, because people, either way, even if you put it in a nice way, at the end of the day, we live in a world where people are pick everything apart. And even if you're saying something positive, something nice, or find something within to be like, oh, that he being negative right there, or he trying to be spicy right there. So,
but even I believe it was the NFL commissioner that made a statement before the actual game, the actual halftime show, saying like, pretty much along the lines like, we took a real shot on Bad Bunny, he better live up to it. So that's why it just makes me wonder, it's like, do people not realize the bigger picture outside of it? But where, like, the NFL commissioner and all of that, they let Snoop Dogg wear blue at the crib and represent that. Things people weren't supposed to do on the halftime show is being done. So why are we just going against the Bad Bunny, the Kendrick Lamars? Like,
right.
Music is supposed to heal.
Yeah.
Why are we
I mean, again, I understand what he was saying. I think he's absolutely right. When Bad Bunny was first announced, I was excited for him. I thought it was an amazing opportunity. But for me, I felt the same way he did. I was like, man, does he have the catalog? Does he have those type of songs that can reach the masses and the Spanish? So it's like the majority of the world is not gonna know or understand what he's saying, because at the end of the day, when we keep it 1,000, you look at the NFL games and that NFL world. Yes, there's minorities a part of it that plays it, but when you think about it, man, it's white people love the sport. Like when you look at them stands and you see them tickets, and I'm saying this with love, like white people fill those seats. So when you're thinking about it from that lens, you're like, and respectfully, because I actually had this conversation on this, I did an interview for this last year when Kendrick. I think, and I respect Kendrick is an incredible artist. To me, the only reason why he was chosen for that moment was because of the Drake, the beef he had with Drake.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, whether you were black, white, Hispanic, African, Jamaican, whatever you was, you knew about the Drake and the Kendrick beef. You didn't have to be into the music. You didn't have to love it. It didn't have to be a type of genre, but you knew. You know what I mean? So the world knew, right? So that was an opportunity for him to use that situation, because we all know the records that he the diss records towards Drake, but then introduce us into who you really are as an artist, who you really are as a creative. The fact that you've been speaking on principles and writing incredible songs with meaning for years, and just not really being paid attention to because it's not mainstream radio. You know what I'm saying? So that was a moment, man. But I understand where the commission was coming for. Where he was coming from. Thank God Bad Bunny saw the bigger picture and saw the moment and took advantage of the moment that was originally about his music and songs, and just made it about the world and saw the bigger picture.
I love that. And I hope everyone takes that message out of that. If not, that is your opinion.
Right.
But we're gonna get back into the man, the myth, the legend himself here, Mr. Amadeus, because we really went in that tangent about football.
We did. You should see, I love football. So sorry if everybody tuned in. I love football. Football is my number one sport. I watch on Sundays, and I'm so glad it's gone. On Sundays, I sit here uninterrupted. I don't want no company. I don't want no guests. Just me, and I watch as many games as I can until it's over, until the last game is over. That comes on at 8 o'clock, and then I enter back into the world. But I love football. Mondays, Thursdays, when they have it on Saturdays, football is life. So to the ladies out there, it's just a disclaimer. If you ain't into football, matter of fact, I'm going to say it like this. You don't have to be into football, right?
Okay.
If the person you love or the man you're dating or you're getting to know someone and they into football and you're not, learn to love it, learn to appreciate it, learn to support it because it ain't going nowhere.
That's
I'm
the
telling you
same
that right
principle.
now. I'm telling you right now. Like I love football. Like so, just get down with the program, man. I'm just saying.
That's how I
Just
feel
saying.
about wrestling when I'm not working, because I'd be tired by the time I come home, and then my students will get mad at me because I'll watch it all on like Friday, Saturday, so they're not allowed to talk to me about it until it's the whole week passed, and then they gotta wait another week so I could catch up.
Right.
Uh, but it's a lot, right? Because now that we're going into that, like you take that time to yourself. How important is it? And I think we've also learned it more recently with the death of James Vanderbilt. How important it is for you to take that time, not only for yourself, but to be there to spend the time with your loved ones and just do things that make you feel alive.
Yeah, very important. And I learned this, going through therapy of setting boundaries and setting them and keeping them, right? And not feeling away or allowing others to manipulate you or change how you feel. You know what I'm saying? And it's very important, man. I hit the gym every single day, and if I can't get in the gym, it's because of work or me not able to physically be in there. But I'm in there every day, and it just creates a sense of peace. It brings a sense of joy to just see the sweat pouring down my face, to see how hard and committed that I am, that I'm working in there and changing my eating habits and being focused and committing, to a lifestyle of taking care of myself, man. And I love it. I love TV. I love watching TV. I love playing video games. You know what I mean? I love listening to music. I love the movies.
What are
Like,
you playing? What video games you playing?
I mean, I'm not a. Let me be clear. I'm not a gamer. Like I'm
Okay.
not, but I love games. So I play. I love and no judgment, please. This is video games. I love all the shooting games. I love Call of Duty. I just finished playing Battlefield 6. Not the co-op mode. I like the campaigns. I like
Okay.
being a part of the story. I like feeling like I'm in the midst of I'm a character in whatever that story is being told. So I love Call of Duty. I love Battlefield 6. I love Gears of War. Those are the most recent games I've been playing. There's an airplane game that I absolutely love. I do a lot of traveling
Yeah.
and flying and touring. So there's an airplane game where you can fly the airplane. You can choose the different aircrafts that you want to choose. That's like my calming game. At the end of the night, if I just want to fly through the clouds, and I know it's weird, but I love it. What else? I love Madden, of course. I love 2K. But my go-to are definitely Call of Duty. Definitely Call of Duty, and I just tapped into Battlefield 6. That was amazing. Like to the point where like I'm gonna play it again. And I usually don't really play it again, or like I wait years later to play it again. But I just ended it like a week ago, and I'm gonna play it again like now. That's how good it was. But again, so to answer your question, I do make sure that I take time to just do me, man. To just do me, and there's a lot on my plate from producing and creating, touring, traveling, residencies, speaking to the kids. So I give of myself a lot, and when you're a person that give of yourself, you show love, you give love, you educate, you inspire, you exude a lot of energy. So you got to get that back, and sometimes it's poured back into me from different people that love on me. Sometimes it's poured back into me from just me having time for myself, me going to the gym, me going to the movies, I do a lot of solo dates, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because you gotta know how to love you. You gotta be able to love you so that when you do have the opportunity to share yourself with someone, there's no second guessing of how you feel about you and how you love you, so that when someone is loving you properly and loving you how you want to be loved, because you absolutely love yourself and know what you're deserving of.
And I had to, for me, I had to learn that and it was hard.
Hmm.
Like, because me, for a long time, my mind was always about the work and not about anything else. And then when
Hmm.
I got sick and I was going through everything I go through, I'm like, damn, okay, maybe they all had a point.
Mm.
But I've seen, especially when you talked about men's mental health, and where like you even see like your positivity, like more, you were not like you weren't already positive,
Mm-hmm.
but like you see like a whole change within the last couple of years within you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, like you're doing more speaking engagements.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when I met you, you were talking at the Power is Industry event that had Dragon, and
Yes. Wow. That's what we met.
yes, I was.
Wow.
That's how long ago it was. If Vina Love was there, I was recording S Rock because he was performing, and then
Yes.
I had the
Wow.
footage of you two dabbing each other up.
Wow. Legendary, man. That's past 5 years, right? Because 5 years when we did the interview
Yeah,
during the pandemic, and
and then
that
it
was
took me
prior
like
to.
another 3 years to get the interview.
But it just patience is key. One and two, being persistent and consistent is everything.
Right.
Everything happens in due time. Everything happens in the right time. Not our time, but God's time is what I truly feel like. It wasn't meant to be. You know what I'm saying? You can want it to be. I can want it to be. But if it's not meant to be, it won't. And it'll happen in God's time. And here we are, round two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, hopefully, round 3, I could do a photo shoot with you.
I ain't mad at that. I need some new photos. Let's go.
I got you. We'll definitely talk about that.
Okay.
But how has your upbringing? Because you were in the church. You were raised in a very family-oriented household. How did that help your mindset in being there and like being a speaker, being an educator, being in a way a healer, because you're helping people not only through your words but through music?
Absolutely. Well, first, shout out to my mom and my late dad. Just the foundation, like, making me go to church. I remember when I didn't want to go to no church, man. What kid want to go to church, man? It's Sundays, it's all day, it's boring. We don't understand what's being said. We don't understand what's happening. You know what I mean? But no matter what, they like, oh no, this whole house is going to church. And the older that I got, the more mature that I got, I was able to understand and really take in what was being said and what was being taught. And that honestly became my foundation and who I am today. That's what makes me who I am today. A God-fearing man that believes that I got my gifts and talents from God, and He's blessed me to be able to do what I do. And me being from the Bronx, me being from the hood, from the projects, that made me me, that made me tough, that made me resilient, that made me not give up, that made me fearless, to go after each and every single dreams that I have and become that person. So when it comes to me, going and speaking to these kids in the schools that are from where I'm from, whether it's the Bronx or any of the 5 boroughs or even around the world, every place in the world has a hood. And I learned that Australia has a hood, Japan has a hood, London has a hood. You know what I mean? Me traveling into these places and into these spaces, you learn everywhere has a hood. Everywhere has a place where it's challenged and people struggle to eat and people struggle to feed themselves and people don't have the best of environments. So for me to become who I am today, crazy to even say it, Dr. Amadeus, going from the hood, from the projects. I finished high school, Conroe Hayes High School, and I started college for a little bit, and I realized that wasn't me, and it wasn't my path, and wasn't my journey, and I rebelled, and I went over here to chase this career in music, and here I am. So I just want to be a light. I just want to be a light, because children are not having the conversation in regards to what they want to be and what they love and what they're passionate about. They're learning the fundamentals, math, reading, science, which you definitely need in order to survive in this world. But it's like, why should you settle in life? Why should you do something or become something that someone else wants you to be? So when I have this conversation and I ask the question, like, what do you love? What do you want to be when you grow up? What are you passionate about? These kids light up, man. Like, and they really love the conversation and they love sharing what it is that they want to do and what they want to be. Some believe in themselves. Some are like on the cusp of like, oh, maybe I could do it. And then you have a whole other group of students that don't believe, right? I went to a school in Brooklyn, um, and there was a few kids that came up that said, I wanted to be this and I wanted to be that. And I'm like, you believe in it? And like, no. And one girl broke down crying in my arms. I don't know what she's dealing with at home. I don't know what she's being told at home. I don't know what she's being told at that school. But in that one moment that we shared, she'll never forget me. She'll never forget the conversations that we had in front of her 300 other classmates. She'll never forget the hug that I gave her and telling her, no, you can do it. You can become the surgeon you want to become. And that's what it's about. It's bigger than music. Like Bad Bunny, it's bigger than music. I feel like God used the musician side of me and the producer side of me to get to this point for a bigger picture. You know what I mean? And it's not about the accolades is cool, the awards is cool, the street name is cool, but I want all of that to be motivation and inspiring to the youth, to you, to adults, for people, that are 50 years old, that are 40 years old, that are 30 years old, that feel it's over. Like, no, I can't live my dreams no more. And I'm like, how? You got life. You got breath in your body. If you woke up today, that's an opportunity for you to go after what you love. Do what you want to do. Be who you want to be. It's never too late. But at the end of the day, we sit back and we be in prayer and we ask God to it's like wanting God to be a genie. Hey, I wish I can become this. I wish I can do that. I wish I can go here. And you sit back and wait for him to ching, and then you become that thing. And it doesn't work like that. He'll open doors, he'll create opportunities, but you have to do your part. You know what I'm saying? You got to put the work in. You got to season your craft. You got to believe in yourself. Like, everybody here, you, me, everybody that's tuned in, you have dreams and aspirations. You have gifts and talents. There's things you can do I can't do. Period. And that's what makes you special. There's things that I can do you can't. And for those person that's tuned in, somebody is sleeping on their dreams, somebody's sleeping on their gifts, somebody is sleeping on their talents, somebody is scared, somebody is afraid, but you working for somebody else. You clocking in each and every single day, working for somebody else that wasn't scared to start that school, wasn't scared to start that business. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't scared to start that company, that production company, that film company, like, what are we really doing? You know what I'm saying? And then you 50 years old, you 60 years old, and you look back on your life and you're like, damn, all this time I let go. I settled in life. I allow fear to stop me from becoming this person. I allow fear to stop me from living my dreams. Now I'm 60, 70 years old. I didn't work for somebody else all my life. I ain't got no bread. I ain't got no retirement plan. I ain't got this. Now what? Don't let it be you. I refuse, to allow that to be me. Nah, I don't want to go to college. I don't want to go to this school. I don't want to do what you want me to do. I want to do what's in my heart. And that's the greatest decision I ever make. Is it hard? Absolutely. Is there times where I feel I want to quit? Absolutely. There's times when I look around in this room and look at all these walls, and I'm saying this just with honesty and transparency, especially during the pandemic. We spoke about this. This don't mean nothing. I can't take this plaque off the wall and get that to my son to eat. I can't take this plaque off the wall and say, hey, take this to your college and we're going to pay tuition with that. Like, this cool. This nice is a blessing. All these awards, that's cool. But it's like, what is your purpose? And for me, my purpose is to change the world. Am I the best person? No. Am I perfect? No. Am I flawed? Absolutely. But there's enough love in me, and there's enough humility and of wanting to see others make it, want to see others achieve their goals, want to see others win. Like, there's space for all of us to win. There's enough money for all of us to be filthy rich. They print money right now. That second that just went by, new hundreds are printed. That's enough for you. That's enough for me to win. Where I ain't got to hate on you, you ain't got to hate on me. But you just got to put the work in. I'm putting the work in. So the question is, at the end of the day, are you putting the work in? You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing. You don't got to be the talented. You ain't got to be the most talented, the best, the greatest. But what's your work ethic? I'm not the best drummer in the world. And I'm not saying this to down me. I'm just being a buck. I'm not the best producer in the world. I'm not the best speaker in the world.
Yes, he is the best drummer in the world. Let's stop.
If you say that, cool. I don't feel I am, right? And that's cool. But it's like, I never sought out for that. It was just me doing what I love and me having fun and it turning into a business and turning into how I can take care of myself. And I didn't know all of that can come from it. I didn't, right? So, but one thing that people can say is like, yo, he working. He gonna put that work in. Like, Amadeus, he gonna work. And that's the thing, where you can be more talented than me. You can be more gifted if you feel that's the case. But will you outwork me? And I think that's the thing that people struggle with and can't see me with. You're not gonna outwork me.
So I watch mind you, like I said, I followed your career over the last few years. I still have to buy the book, and we're gonna get into that too. But you mentioned something on an interview about, yeah, you're so cute. You're so cute. But you mentioned in one of your interviews about your parents, making you well-rounded and putting you in after-school programs. Because especially right now, there's so many different things going on in our city.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these programs, that are catering to the lesser the under, yes, they're trying to take away the funding. How important is it for us to shed more light on these programs that help not only keep the kids off the street, but teach them leadership and tools that they need to get going? Because the DOE, let's really talk about it. They're not even teaching math and English right now. I don't know what the hell they're teaching. My kids can't even do 2 + 2 sometimes.
Wow. And it's a sad truth. And you're right, where when I think about after school programs and, the community center, shout out to Claremont Neighborhood Community Center. That's the community center where I grew up at, that still exists to this day. That's right there, dead smack on 169th and Washington and Avenue in the Bronx in the hood. That's right there, and with open doors to receive all of those young kings and young queens that, have places to go. They all, they have places to go, but like you said, it keeps them occupied. It keeps them off the streets. They can play basketball. They can learn dance. They can do their homework, then having an after school program. No, programs like that are important. I remember just thinking about growing up and what I've seen and what I've endured. These places save our lives, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just imagining if I didn't have that. If I didn't have those places, if I didn't have that outlet, if I didn't have those safe havens where that kept us off the street and kept our minds occupied and gave us something to do after school or on the weekends or in the summer, you know what I'm saying? What would I be? You know what I'm saying? Would Amadeus be here today? Would I be the musician that I am today? Or would I have, kind of fell short to what the neighborhood had, a drug dealer or in the gang or something else, you know what I mean? A lot of the homies ain't here no more. A lot of them, lost their lives. A lot of them, went behind bars. You know what I'm saying? So, after school programs, neighborhood centers, all of those programs are so important to the community and so important to the lives of those children. And I just happen to be one of them.
So on that note, guys, you got to go support your local community centers.
Absolutely.
Remember our sponsors, the PSNBC, the Phipps Neighborhood Spring Basketball Clinic. Please support them. Their first game day is March 7th at the P&J Beacon. So please support your local community center. Please come support the PSNBC. Sorry, I had to do the shameless plug.
Absolutely. No, nothing wrong with that.
I love my boys. We did a photo shoot last week for their media day.
Nice.
And they got so hyped. But it's so hilarious sometimes when I bring my work, like this life, into work life. My boss just texted me here, and the 2 + 2 is 4 comments. And I'm like, it's true. But when you get to bring what you do and what you love and get to help others with it, it's just such a rewarding factor. And a lot of people downplay all of these centers. And I'm glad, you get to give back. You give back and you help these kids in the same way that you and me were helped, because we lived in the era of no social media.
Right.
We didn't have technology helping us. Whatever we had to do. Oh, you want to be a photographer? I had people tell me, no, I can't do it. And
Absolutely.
Then I'm here in the club shooting and coming home 7 a.m, and I'm gonna make sure. And here I am 15 years later with a podcast, but that's just
right.
Life.
Yeah. Love that for you.
Thank you. And I get to sit here with you, which is something I don't think, 10-year-old me would have thought of ever doing.
Wow. That's a blessing. I appreciate you.
So you went from, because it's going to be longer than an hour. I'm so sorry, honey. You went from, growing up in the Bronx, you had many people, giving you the misconceptions because you were so well-rounded, that you're doing all of this, and now you end up getting an opportunity where you're working with DMX and doing working on the production for Prayers to the Game. Tell me literally about that experience and how that shaped, who you are now.
Right. You talking about the Cradle to the Grave movie and soundtrack?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that was actually my first placement as a music producer. Shout out to Foxy Brown. Shout out to DMX. Rest in peace, DMX. DMX was working on the soundtrack for that movie, Cradle to the Grave. I had went to play beats for Foxy Brown at Chungking Studio in New York. I'll never forget it. Shout out to Antwan, my and her brother. Shout out to my cousin Joe Thompson that made that happen. And played her some beats that night. Left her the beat CD, and she's like, "Yo, let me borrow that. Let me rock with that overnight to see what I can come up with." And left that CD with her. Next day, I got a phone call from her team saying that she recorded 2 songs that night, and "Cradle to the Grave," "My Life" was actually one of the songs that she created, which was actually the title song to the movie and soundtrack. And then she created another song called "Get Off Me" because she was actually beefing with Eve, that was signed to Rough Riders at that time. So she made a diss record. And those are my first 2 songs, official songs as a music producer. I remember, me going to the movies to see it and hearing the song that I created in my living room in the movie. And I remember Funk Master Flex, shout out to Funk Master Flex, dropping bombs all over that, Get Off Me record of Foxy Brown, dissing Eve. I've worked so hard and put so many years and blood, sweat, and tears into my craft, to finally have a moment. The plaque is up here in the corner. I don't know if you can see it, but that is my first plaque I ever received for the first song I ever produced in my life that was released. It earned me a gold plaque, which means it sold over 500,000 copies, hard copies, not streams.
Real units.
iTunes wasn't here, Apple Music wasn't here, Tidal, Spotify, none of that. You have to go to the store and actually buy the CD, the cassette tape, the vinyl in order for it to count. So, love those days. Love those days. So yeah, shout out to Foxy. Again, rest in peace, DMX. Definitely a pivotal moment in my career as a producer.
How do you feel about that era coming back? Because you already saw like Cardi going back on the streets when she was putting her promo rollout. Now you got J. Cole selling CDs. We're going back. I feel like we're going to a more updated version of that era because we're never going to just abandon the internet part now.
Correct.
But we're seeing a hybrid of what used to be with what is now. How do you feel about that?
I think it's dope, man. I mean, people always want to see people, man. It's nothing like seeing someone face to face, you know what I mean, or seeing someone right in front of you. It's one of the most exciting things when I think back to, running around to the labels trying to play my beats for everybody and seeing Jay-Z leave Def Jam and, you know what I'm saying, seeing like Redman or like, Memphis Bleak or Ja Rule or 50 down the street. Like, you live for those moments, you know what I'm saying? And us being in New York is the city of dreams, you're bound to see anybody at any specific time. So the fact that they took it back to, the street, the what do you call it? The street promotion, you know what I'm saying? Street teams and really being out in the streets and promoting the album, I thought was dope, man. So I love that.
So we're gonna start getting you back out on the streets, playing in the drums on the train, like.
Nah, I never did that. I always thought it was cool. I never did that. I was a baby, man. So my mom wasn't letting me go play outside in front of the building. So she definitely ain't letting me go, set up a drum set in the subway. You kidding me? But I don't know. Maybe we can make that happen on some bucket list type ish. You know what I'm saying? Where I just go to 42nd Street one day and just rock out for like an hour or two. Don't post it, don't say nothing, just pull up and just to have the experience. You know what I'm saying?
You never know. I mean, Bad Bunny stirred up a whole concert when he did it with Jimmy Fallon.
Word.
You never know. You're going to bring, like, watch, you just start playing the drum, Trey Songz pop out of nowhere. You never know.
Never know. Hey, never know.
But, speaking of Trey, right, you have had the honor, and I'm pretty sure this was also when we did the first interview, but you became the music director for Trey Songz.
Mm-hmm.
What are some responsibilities that you hold that people don't see on the day-to-day?
In regards to being the music director, like my role is pretty much to take the vision, if there's a vision of Trey's and bringing it to life in show form, right? So I'm responsible for choosing the musicians and who happen to be my brothers that I grew up with and played alongside church all my life. Shout out to Butters, shout out to Ricky String, shout out to Nate Jones on bass. My brother, shout out to Brian as well, and Daquan and Carlton. That they make up Chris Morgan, Eli, just thinking of everybody that just, I played alongside Pauls with the Trey Songz experience. Shout out to Trey and DJ AWOL. But yeah, it's just taking the vision of the artist and just creating the best show that you can create, right? And I'm actually playing drums at the same time. So it's like two roles in one, being the music director in charge of the band and also performing, playing drums as well. So I love it. It's pretty cool. And again, me working alongside my brothers, as musicians, we know each other like the back of our hand. So that makes it an even better experience. Trey trusts me, he trusts them. So most times, he'll walk in and be like, "Yo, what we doing?" And I'm like, "All right, the set list, the set is we got an hour show. These are the song I picked. These are the orders." Most of the times he rocks with it. Sometimes he'll come in and make his edits in regards to what songs we should move or change or start with. But usually, man, I know him so well that I'm usually on point. With that. And shout out to, I don't know if she's here. Is there any way I can see like the comments and stuff or no?
So ironic. So I think people are just watching and not commenting because my comments are not showing at the moment.
Okay. But shout out to Deani Harper. Hopefully she's in there. She's amazing.
If you're in here, please tap in.
Yeah, shout out to Deani. She's worked with us alongside Trey for years, handling the marketing and everything. And hopefully she's tuned in. She's worked at Atlantic Records for over 20 years, and she's doing an amazing thing. She's always been amazing. So shout out to her because it's a team effort. You know what I'm saying? It's a team effort. Everybody has their areas and how they succeed and make everything better. So definitely shout out to her if she's still here right now. But yeah, I love what I do. Back in the day, I mean, I've been with Trey for 20 years now as his music director and drummer. So I've seen a lot, man, from us growing as musicians to us growing together. Pause just in case. Like I was saying, the growing part. I don't know how people, if you could take that.
I mean, I understand. Trust me.
You feel me? You gotta be careful out here. So, but just I remember the first shows we did, which were like in clubs. You know what I mean? Where we could barely fit on stage, like. And people was in there talking and like like literally having meetings while we're performing and not even caring. And then it just changed. Like it just changed. It went from that to us performing in theaters and opening up for Jay-Z, in arena tours at Madison Square Garden and opening up for Usher. And then I don't know if people know this, but like Miguel, shout out to Miguel L. Varner opened for us on one of our tours with Trey. So we introduced, the world to Elvana and Miguel. Same thing with Big Sean. The Anticipation Tour. Big Sean opened up for Trey. That's when he had the song with him and Chris Brown. Yeah, like people don't know that, man. Trey created a lot of opportunities and opened up the door for a lot of amazing artists that are doing their thing today, man. So shout out to all of them, man. But I love it, man. I love being able to tour the world and perform these amazing records on stage in front of thousands and hundreds of thousands of people. Is a blessing.
How are you able to balance your creativity while leading under pressure?
So from while touring, or just saying in general?
Well, you technically both, right? Because you lead within touring, you lead within as the CEO of Platinum Boy Music. So I guess both. Yeah,
and I like that question because what people don't know is, so when I tour, I don't produce. I don't create at all. Like if I'll send out music, I'll send music to artists in order to create songs, but I don't produce while I'm on tour because I just like to be able to focus on the fact that, of the shows, because a lot happens. Like we change shows on a day-to-day basis. We're traveling, we're going from one city to the next on a tour bus. It's a lot. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and wear and tear on our bodies. So I like to be present and just be able to focus on what I'm doing. I'm getting paid very, very, very well for doing what I'm doing. So I'm just going to stay present, focus on the shows, making sure that we're giving people the greatest experience that we can give, right? When you go to a concert, you're spending money on your fresh, you're spending money on your hair, your nails, your shoe game. You got to pay for parking. You buying drinks. You might need a babysitter. So a lot of sacrifice goes into that. So with that being said, I want to make sure that we're doing our part musically to create and give you guys the best experience you can possibly get while sacrificing coming to our show. So that's how I run that. And I use the inspiration that I see, hear, experience on the road, and I use that when I get off of the road to create. I've created some of my greatest songs and music after coming off of the tour because I'm thinking about everything that I've seen and experienced and watched and been a part of that motivates me to create great music. And in regards to just leadership, I think timing is everything. I think it's about balance. Because not only am I a CEO or a music director and drummer, I'm a father, I'm a dad. You know, I have kids. You know, I have my personal life. I have family. So it's just about trying to find a balance, which is not easy to do. But it's about also having the support of those that love you, that understand what it is for you to be Antwan and what it is for you to be, you know, Amadeus. And one thing I can say that my kids, man, they get it, they understand. They're so amazing. They're so supportive. You know, I miss a lot of things. I have missed a lot of things. I miss Christmases. I miss birthdays. I miss Thanksgivings. I miss Easters. I miss New Year's. This year that just passed, we instead of being with my family, we performed New Year's Eve in Ethiopia with Trey. So you miss out on things, but at the end of the day, it's for good cause. It's for a great reason. Because my role obviously is to provide and to take care of and to protect my babies, man. So if I ain't out there getting to the bacon, you know what I mean, and how do I feed them? So I used to feel guilty about it, but knowing that I have their genuine love and support, I feel good about it. That I can go do what I need to do so that I can take care of them. Which is most important to me.
So I feel like New York and the music scene has been going through a renaissance because we went from boom bap to drill to trap to drill trap to boom bap drill trap to everything. So now we're kind of like leaning back towards the more boom bap type of, at least in my opinion. I could be wrong, but
Mhm.
how do you currently feel about how New York or just the music industry has been shaping nowadays? But what separates now their longevity from the hype when working
Right.
with like the artists?
I mean, me personally, here's what I understand, and I get it, right? Music, it changes. The sound, the vibe, uh, the lyrics, the age gap. So it's about understanding that, right? And I compare it to this. Like back when I was young, the people that I was growing up listening to, that Wu Tang and like Nas and KRS One and Black Sheep and Gangstar, like what I'm saying, and my parents was listening to Michael Jackson and Grandmaster Flash and Furious Five and you know um, Stevie Wonder, like so they looked at the music that I listened to and called it trash. It was like, that's not real music. That's not real hip hop. That's not real. This is real music. So fast forward, now I'm 45 years old, and I got a 20-year-old son, 13-year-old daughter. What they're listening to is completely different. Not all the way, because my son kind of taps into the now to the vintage, and he rocks out with everything, right? But my princess, like she listening to what she's listening to, and it's like I'm not gonna come to them and be like, yo, that's trash, or like, they ain't my. I always compare it to a cup of tea. You might like lemon ginger. I might like chamomile, right? Who am I to tell you, lemon gingers ain't the right tea for you? Who are you to tell me that chamomile ain't the right tea for me? If that's what you like, sip on what you like. If I like chamomile, I'm gonna sip on chamomile. That's what I like. It's the same thing with music, right? In life, we get a choice. Now, it might be music that's out right now, drill or whatever the youngest that's doing, that might not be my cup of tea, but I'm not going to knock it. I'm not going to call it trash. I'm not going to say it's not real music. I'm not going to say it's not real hip hop, because to me, music is expression, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. I've done me for years. Like I don't care what everybody else is doing. I don't care what the sounds are. I do it. I create what I want, and I create what I feel. Period. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. It just so happened that a lot of artists like what I created, and now we're creating masterpieces together. But I've always locked myself in the room, did what I needed to do, come out like this is what I got. Either you love it or you don't. So I just have a respect for all creatives. I value all creativity. I honor it. I respect it. And again, it doesn't necessarily have to be my cup of tea, but I'm not going to devalue it. I'm not going to say what it's not. I'm not going to, because at the end of the day, if it's an opportunity for them to do what they love, which is what I'm doing, which is what I've always done, and an opportunity for them to take care of their loved ones and their families in a positive manner, who am I to say, oh, no, that's whack, or that's trash, or they ain't. You have your tea, I have mine. Drink it how you like yours. I'm gonna drink it how I like mine, and everybody's good. And that's kind of like how I visualize it.
So my man's here got a book out. Let's show off the book.
You heard?
The Story
Yeah,
of Amadeus and the Beat Goes On. When I
that's right.
saw one of the first news clips that went out and you did an interview and it was with CBS.
Okay.
I
Yes.
I saw it at 2 o'clock in the morning. I was kind of late after working. I was like, yes, finally, this is like amazing. Um, what made you actually pull the trigger on the book?
I've always wanted to do it. Didn't know how. Didn't know how to execute it. And then once the pandemic hit and we all had to be home, it was no excuse and no reason why I couldn't get it done because I had nothing but time. And I linked up with two amazing authors and leaders and creatives, Lynn Hobson and Trina Stackhouse, who are all the co-authors in this book. And they've done it before a bunch of times. They've done it successfully, and I teamed up with them, and the rest was history. And the rest was history. I'm very proud of it. It's the actual story. For those that don't have it, you can get your copy today. Your signed copy. I sign every single book. The book comes directly from me. I go to the post office. I mail it out. I put the everything. I want it to come from me. I want you to feel this love. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, it'll get to a point where I'm selling them millions and millions and millions, and then a company has to do it and roll it out. But until then, this signed copy comes from me directly to you. I'm grateful. And it's the story. It's the story of how I became who I am today as a musician, being born and raised in the Bronx. The struggles, the details, his pictures on each and every single page, documenting, how I became that person. You know what I'm saying? Me as a little kid, you know what I mean? Like, and for me, I'll say this, just being honest and transparent. I like to see things. I go to the movies. You ever want to educate me on anything, show me. So I said to myself, for me who is not a reader like that, like how can I get someone like me to pick up this book? And it was simple. It was like straight to the point. The book is only 26 pages. um, it has pictures on each and every single page. So it shows you everything you need to see, and it just gets right to the point. You know what I'm saying? So even if you're not a reader, man, it's simple. It's straight to the point. You'll love it. Get your signed copy today. You can get it on my website, iamkingamadeus.com. Once again, it's iamkingamadeus.com to get your signed copy of the book. Holler at me, order it, and I got you covered, man. But I love it. I'm so proud of it. And then, so let me show you something in this book, right? Where there's a drum set in here, which is the first drum set that I got when I was a little kid. And that's me on the drums. It's my Smurf drum set. And my mom and dad bought this drum set. And a colleague of mine, shout out to my brother that works at Sennheiser, he surprised me with the actual original drum set, the same drum set that I had when I was a little kid. Somehow he found it online, a gentleman that collects vintage items and vintage things, and he remembers seeing the book, and he went and ordered this drum set for me and shipped it to my house. I remember opening up, I didn't know what it was. It was this big box that came to the house, and I opened it up last year on Thanksgiving Day, and I opened it up and saw that it was the Smurf drum set that I had when I was a baby. And when I say I broke down in tears from gratefulness, just happiness, and like just seeing that actual drum set that my parents bought me, and me being who I am today and becoming, that musician and that producer that I dreamt of being, and looking at that drum set, like that's literally stood in front of me, one of the greatest moments of my life, man. And I'm so grateful to him for, finding that and sending and gifting me that drum set.
That must have been amazing to see life kind
Oh
of
my
go full
God.
circle.
Crazy. I called my mom because my dad had already passed, and I called my mom and I was crying, and she thought something happened because I actually spent Thanksgiving alone purposely. So she thought it was that. Like she was like, thought I had a hard time, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I had a great night. It was the end of the night. The Giants, of course, the Giants had lost, as always. So, and I was like, I gotta show you something, and I showed her the drum set, and she was like, oh my God. I was like, this is why I'm crying, and I hit it, hit the drums, and it sounded like crap. Everything sounded the same, and I was like, this is what y'all had to listen to. Like when I was younger, when you that like oh my, it pissed me off, and I'm a drummer. It just sounded like plastic, like bah, 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 bah. I was like, oh god, and I just thanked her, man, and I was like, I don't know what y'all saw in me, and my dad. I wished I had the opportunity to just ask him that question, like, yo, what did y'all see in me that encouraged you guys to buy me a drum set, right? And think about it, there was no YouTube. There wasn't like I was videos that I was watching or watching drummers play or like wasn't nothing there. But when I got this drum set, it was an automatic thing. It was like if I saw it before. It was like if I've been there before. It was like if I lived this life before of like a drummer. I knew what to do with it. I knew how to hold the drumsticks. I knew to bang and hit the drums. It's like, how did y'all see that? But it's crazy. I gotta ask my mom that question, man. But I'm grateful to my parents. Just thinking back as a kid, like looking at the cover, I'm just like looking at the cover myself and seeing myself on my father's radio, which I wasn't supposed to be touching, with his headphones on, touching knobs, and who would ever knew, that I would become Amadeus. And that's the thing, God knew, and somehow, some way, I was able to know too. You know what I mean? And here we are today.
And now, on top of all that, not only did you get to put out a book and give back and give a younger generation a sense of hope, that they can achieve their dreams, you also became Dr. Amadeus.
Crazy.
And you got the Bronx Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
Um,
Crazy.
How did those three? Because I feel like that's like a big three for you to show you that life kind of came full circle.
Yeah.
What was your? How do I put this? Where were you on a mental frame after all of this? And then what does that mean? I guess to someone that's looking to do what you do.
Right. I mean, yeah, when I found out, I couldn't believe it. Like I had got an email for both two different situations. Like what the doctor, me earning my honorary doctorate in music and entrepreneurship, and also earning the Lifetime Achievement Award from former President Joe Biden. That was together, and then me getting the street sign was a whole separate thing, man. And it's just none of what I'm doing today, or even just in life, was for any of those purposes. Excuse me. It was just me doing what I loved and creating music, and I didn't know it was going to turn into any of this. I didn't know I was going to become a speaker and be going and talking in front of kids and hundreds of kids around the world. Like, let's play drums and make beats. You know what I mean? But when you tap in spiritually, and thank God for my late pastor and bishop Michelle White, who educated me so much from a spiritual lens and guided me from a spiritual lens, like a second mom to me. Like, I just learned so much from her and was just able to tap in from a spiritual sense. And God has so much in store for us. And I'm not even just speaking of me. I'm speaking of you. I'm speaking of those that are tuned in. Like, we see ourselves as this thing or someone, but God just looks at us like, man, if you can just tap in to who you really are and get a glimpse of how I see you, it's over. Like, and I want, like, just think about what I just said. Like, for you, and like, if you can see yourself, who is good, if you can see yourself through God's lens, like, you're the only you in the world. Somebody can have your name, your complexity, your hair, your ethnicity. There's only one you in the world, and you're perfectly made in His image, right? So when you're able to tap into that and I'm saying this in a positive lens, that's a scary thing, like, in a good way, like, because if people are not tapped into who they are and they don't recognize your light, it's a scary place to be in. But the fact that I was able to do that and pivot and see that there was more inside of me from a spiritual lens than music, and allow the music to be, the music is what got me in front of you. Now that I have your attention, here's more. And that's when God gets the glory, and that's when I share what he puts on my heart, and that's where the inspiration and the motivation and the empowerment comes from. Because I got your attention because I became this guy. So now you're focused. Oh, I want to hear what he has to say. He made it. He won. Cool, but it's more to it. So doctor and driving down Grand Concourse, right down the street from Yankee Stadium, right down the street from my high school, Cardinal Hayes, right down the street, a few blocks from where I went to, middle school, Christ the King School, Christ the King, like my name, legendary, like that lives forever. Like a lot come and go, a lot. I can't take that, I can't take any of this with me when I leave this earth. Somebody gonna take it behind my son, you know what I'm saying? But the street side, that's up there forever. As long as there's a world and the Bronx exists, that's going to be up there. So for every kid, male, female, for every adult, that second guess themselves, I want them to be able to see that and be like, yo, if this dude can make it from where he's from with all of the adversity and the challenges that he had to face and overcome, if he can do it, I can do it too. Whatever my story is, whatever my journey is, whatever God has for me, if he can do it, I can do it too.
Oh my God.
Amen. Let church, the amen go right there.
My love, there's so much we can talk about, but
we gotta come back and do a part 3.
Part 3 gonna come. Hopefully,
we're gonna do it way sooner though. We're gonna do it way sooner. We're gonna let them marinate on this because there's so much information in this one. So we're gonna let this live.
We're not waiting 5 years.
No. Let's wait like a few months. Let's let this marinate for them. Let's let them take this in. Maybe we could come back like spring, summer, and do another joint. You know what I'm saying?
It was just hilarious though, right? Because I was like, okay, I didn't know that I still had your number.
Wow.
Like, I didn't know it was still the same. So
yeah, it don't change. It don't change. I might change it though. I gotta think about it.
No, not even, I just realized I still have the correct number. So wait. So I'm here texting you on Instagram because we'll talk here and there. I'm like, okay,
but that works too, though. That works. Listen, all form of communication works. So yeah, either way, we got it done.
But I started from Instagram, but I'm like, yo, maybe if I hit the email and do the proper thing, see how well, and that worked over everything. So artists, I tell you this, please send things in a proper way. Send an email. It gets you places. Like,
but I like DMs. Because sometimes, the emails can be overwhelmed. So I say reach out how you can. Give it time. If you don't hear back, then try again. But be patient with it. Because sometimes we can just not see it. You have sometimes that it comes through and people just ignore it. I'm not that person. I will respond to each and every single thing because DMs is where opportunity lies. It's not just a place where people try to highlight people. Like, I've gained a lot of opportunities. I've gotten a lot of opportunities and a lot of open doors when people reaching out via DM. So I accept it all, man. But I'm glad you were persistent and we was able to make this happen. And thank you for the pivot. I know we're supposed to be on tomorrow, but we made it happen for today. Appreciate you.
I'm a little happier because that you said that because I was thinking about it. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna come from work.
Yeah.
I just hope I have everything ready on time. I'm thinking about it. And you text me, right? I'm like, yes.
Yo.
But I was thinking that message because about the texting DM because as platforms, all we get is the yo.
Yeah.
I don't mind the DM, but come like the fact that if you come correctly, things do happen.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's the message at least I want to leave.
I agree.
I want to thank you so much for dealing with my tenacious self for the last 5 years.
I love it, man. I love it. I love the vibes. Once you family with me, you family. I don't change. Excuse me. I don't switch up. I don't act as if I'm better than anybody. Like you'll be able to get me now. You'll be able to get me later. You'll be able to get me years from now. I ain't the guy that switch up or start feeling himself. And I don't do that. Now, if we rocked out before, we'll always rock out. And I'm big on that. So thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Hopefully everybody that tuned in or will see this now. I've seen this now or we'll see this later. This will be an inspiring, show for them to watch. And this was a good one. I enjoy myself.
So I do hope, when you're home for a longer period of time, we could actually catch up.
Absolutely. We got to talk about your school too. Maybe you DOE or you charter?
So I work for Phipps Neighborhoods. I am an admin for the West Farms Beacon. So I could definitely connect you guys. And my boss, he's probably watching this right now anyway.
Yeah, put us on email and let's get the dialogue and the conversation going and see what we can make happen.
Yeah, I would listen. We would love that. The amount of work you do just for the community alone, it's always very inspiring. So I do thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
So tell everyone where they can find you.
Yes, Instagram Amadeus AMADEUS PBM. And for those that wasn't sure what PBM is Platinum Boy Music. That is my company, Platinum Boy Music. So again, Amadeus AMADEUS PBM on Instagram. My website is IamKingAmadeus.com. Once again, it is IamKingAmadeus.com, which is where you can order your signed copy of the book on the site. Instagram is where I share everything, so you can't go wrong following me and locking in on there. The link to the book, of getting the book and everything else, is actually in my profile on my Instagram, so you can lock it and get it there. And we here, man. Thank you so much again. I appreciate you for having me. Thank you for everybody that's locked in, that's tuned in. And like I said, we're definitely gonna come back, maybe spring or summer, and do a part 3.
Guys, thank you so much for being here. This was Welcome to the Rawrrzone. Early enough that I can go and get some food at Subway's probably. You could catch us everywhere. Yeah, he did. Wait, let me put you back here.
Food!
Woo! The other day was hilarious. I went from working because they made me work a Valentine party, and I'm like, I'm going to Subway's. Forget the food at the bar.
Word. Be like that.
It's my stomach though. But catch us everywhere, www.rawrzonenyc.com, Pulse 82.3 FM, Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Fridays, 10 p.m. on the Evening Rush Radio Network. We are powered by the Phipps Neighborhood Spring Basketball Classic and official Cap House. March 15th, we are at Single Hall with Titan of Rap. And of course, and details about the Give Back for Sean will be in hopefully very soon. From myself and the man, the myth, the legend, Bronx's own Platinum Boy Amadeus, I leave y'all with these parting words.
I've got one more thing to say, and it'll only take me a second. I've got 2 words that I want you all to remember. They're very important. And if I leave you with anything, I'm going to leave you with these 2 words. And those 2 words are, I'm Batman.
And we're